Hello everyone, factoring into today's video, it's JMA Friday as always. On a Friday we're going to have a look at the weather for the coming month from the Japanese model. This takes us through into the second half of March, can you believe? So we're into spring with this update. And also have a look at the CFS as well, see what that's showing for the coming month also. So quite a big update coming up, hope you enjoy it. Now if we get on with the forecast, just to say about the ads, there's links to articles on most of the pages at gasweapons.com. Have a browse through the widgets. If there's anything that you're interested in, please click through. You'll be able to go off and read those articles, and by doing that you're helping to support gasweapons.com. Thanks so much for doing that. It's going to be a live event on the website on Saturday evening, tomorrow evening. Myself and Quantum are going live to talk about the models and how the winter has panned out. So if you want to hear our second attempt at doing a live broadcast, I hope you come back to the website tomorrow evening, but around 7 o'clock. May take some questions as well. Excuse me, if we have the time. Also on Sunday there'll be the final spring forecast, and after that we'll be going on into summer updates. So yeah, quite a big weekend coming up at the website. Do keep checking back for all the updates. Right, let's get on with JMA Friday, and these are the 500 millibar height anomalies broken down into weekly periods, taking us a month ahead, so it takes us right up to the 20th of March. The first weekly period though takes us from the 20th to the 27th of February. As you know, with 500 millibar heights, blue colours are extrapolating to low pressure, and orange and yellow, red, extrapolating to high pressure. So the British Isles is just here on this chart. We have managed to flip the charts the right way round now. So you're not having to get your head round and try to work out what it's showing. It's fairly easy to see what's going on there with that one, because we've got blue colours right over top of the country, so it's a very unsettled looking week period coming through. A ridge of high pressure sitting down to the southwest of the country, and deep trough also on the east side of America, so they remain firmly locked in the freezer next week in the east of America. The flow going something like that, strong jet stream coming across the Atlantic, fueled by that cold weather on the east side of the United States. We're pushing these low pressures through, so it's an unsettled week coming up. There could be some gales coming through at times, and relatively cold air as well. The air is originating from sort of Newfoundland, parts of Canada, northeast America, moderated by the Atlantic, of course, so we won't be in the freeze like they are in that part of America, but that's where the air is originating from. So even though the Atlantic moderates it, it will still be relatively cool at times through next week. We'll bring some warmer sectors through, so occasionally it'll be quite mild, but overall quite a chilly week probably coming up next week. Now, as we go through to the next week's period, and this one takes us from the 27th of February through to the 6th of March, so going on into the start of spring. It's a similar pattern, but what's happening is that the trough is beginning to lift down and move more up towards Iceland and Greenland, where it should be, essentially, and a ridge is starting to develop down to the southwest. So the high pressure to the southwest is becoming a little bit more influential, lifting the trough out up to the northwest of the country, but flows off the Atlantic, and it's starting to move north a little bit with the jet stream. So what it basically means is that it's sort of a transitional period. It could start off very unsettled, quite cool, with some more gales and heavy rain at times. But as we go through the period, we probably find particularly the south tending to dry out as the low pressure sort of starts to lift up to the north. The temperatures are probably recovering a little bit as well, because the flow is going more towards the southwest as opposed to that cold northwesterly. And then finally, we go through to the third and fourth weekly periods. This one takes us from the 6th of March to the 20th of March, so into the second half of next month. And quite a big change takes place then. We get these yellow colours setting up right over top of the country. That's an area of above average heights, building in through the UK. Low pressure, the trough is up around Greenland and Iceland. The jet stream is going like that, so we're shifting on to the milder side of the jet stream, and the high pressure is building up. It's quite a nice looking chart that I think would have some early spring weather. Wouldn't necessarily be a heat wave with high pressure centred right over the top of the country like that. We would be expecting some quite chilly nights probably, and also some mist and fog, but it's not bad. It's okay for sort of March, that pattern. We would have reasonably mild days with some fairly good sunny spells. So after that sort of very unsettled start to March, end of February, start to March, it does look as though high pressure begins to build through. Have a look at the CFS 500 millibar height anomalies, broken down into weekly periods. The first week period going from the 19th through to 25th of February, so the week that we're currently in. It's all very similar. We've got this deep trough of low pressure up to the north and the northwest of the country, indicated by those blue curves, and extending into the east of America ridge down to the southwest in the Atlantic. So the jet stream and the flow is generally going like that. It's unsettled week coming up. Showers along the spells of rain, some gales possibly as well as also. And again, the areas originating from quite a cold part of America and Canada. So although it's moderated by the Atlantic, temperatures wouldn't be all that exciting. We go through to the next week period, the 26th to the 4th of March. We stay unsettled through that weekly period, but trough of low pressure still up to the northwest. But the ridge is beginning to build down to the southwest. Remember, this is when the JMA was just starting to show signs of that ridge beginning to develop down to the southwest, perhaps turning the south and west of the country a little bit drier. The jet stream again still going like that. So it's still coming through the country. It's still relatively cool, but most unsettled in the northwest, a little bit more settled probably down in the south. And then look at this, we go through to the next weekly period and it gets very similar to the JMA. We go through to the 5th to the 11th and suddenly the red colours are building in over the top of the country then. So that looks quite good, doesn't it? Again, we've got high pressure ridging through the British Isles as the trough, the low pressure is lifted out up to the northwest, but jet stream going like that. So beginning to shift onto the milder side of the jet. And it's settling down. It's turning a little bit milder, a little bit more spring-like type pattern starting to develop then. And it sees the high pressure sort of sitting around the country into the final week period. So very much in agreement with the CFS and the JMA. We have the above average heights, the high pressure building in over the country as we go through from around the second week of March through to the middle of the month. High pressure looks set to take over the pattern, with the low pressure, the trough being shifted off up towards Greenland. Now, I wouldn't necessarily be expecting a heat wave with this, but it's okay. The high pressure at this time of year would allow the sun to come through. More than likely, there could be some low cloud, of course, but overall, I think the sun should be coming through at times with this. It's getting stronger now, so hopefully a little bit of a early spring-like pattern setting up through to the middle of March. We may even be seeing signs of this on the generic charts. This is for GFS for Wednesday, and we've got low pressure up to the northwest of Scotland, around Greenland, Iceland, and to the north of Scotland. High pressure down to the southwest in the Azores. So we're still keeping that basic westerly pattern going. That could become quite an intense area of low pressure again on Thursday next week, 26th of February. Everything driving in off the Atlantic. It remains unsettled into the end of the month. But as we get through to the start of March, just signs here that the high pressure beginning to ridge in a little bit. This is the 3rd of March, and we've gone past day 10, but just the signs there, the suggestions that high pressure is starting to ridge in. And by the 4th, it actually has the high pressure building over the top of the country. Now, that's a little bit earlier than the CFS and the JMA want to do it, so this could be a little bit progressive. It might be doing it too quickly, this change. But that could be the general sort of direction of travel, if you like, as we go through into March, that we may start off unsettled. But with time, through the first and second weeks, the high pressure may build up. The ECMWF doesn't really show it, though. As I say, the GFS is probably a bit progressive. So here's the ECM day 10 chart with the low pressure over the country still dominating, really. It's quite unsettled up to the 27th of February. This is the day 8 chart, I should say. As we go through to day 10, it's still unsettled. The high pressure trying to build a little bit across France, but overall low pressure is still driving in up to the 2nd of March. As I say, the GFS may be a little bit progressive with developing this high pressure. The JMA, the CFS, seeing it more towards the second week of March, but I think that's probably where we're going to go with this. We may start off March on quite an unsettled note, ending February unsettled, of course, starting March unsettled, and then moving more towards high pressure, particularly into the 2nd and the 3rd week of the month. And that could give us some fairly pleasant early spring conditions. When it's a weekend forecast tomorrow, so come back, that could be a very unsettled one. There'll be gales, heavy rain, and some snow in the forecast, so do come back for that. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.